Hello, everyone. On today's IRS Tax Refund update, we'll recap the latest with those ongoing tax refund delays, including the newest update released from the IRS on the remaining backlog of unprocessed tax returns. So we'll take a look at that. We'll also check in on amended returns, as well as finally an important update for those who e-filed using platforms like TurboTax who've had their refunds placed on hold by their processor TPG in the past week. Also, some new letters are being received by taxpayers, including one of them that requires a visit to a local IRS office. So we'll recap all of those. Now, taking a look at the latest update from the IRS on the remaining amount of unprocessed tax returns, and the backlog has dropped again to now 2.8 million, made up of returns filed this year and last year. However, all of that net improvement came from paper returns, which is now at 1.1 million. Those e-file returns and ones requiring special processing remains at 1.7 million. We again believe no reduction of e-file returns because several states, including California, are still able to file their federal taxes due to disaster declarations, so there's still ongoing filing involved. However, the IRS has not issued their latest update on amended returns, so that number remains at 1.35 million amended returns remaining as of this point. As a reminder, like all regular paper returns filed, the IRS will not mark them as received until they begin processing, with average processing times taking up to 7 months, if not more. The only way to confirm at this point if your paper return, including amended returns, was received by the IRS is to send them by certified mail. Now, moving on to the biggest refund issue over the last week, which is those e filers who have filed using some of the bigger online tax services like TurboTax, who've seen their refund issued by the IRS but have yet to receive it, with the processor TPG classifying their refund under review or pending return to the IRS. Now, impacted groups could be seeing something similar as to the screenshots towards the left hand side of the screen. Now, because of the ongoing amount of cases, TPG has begun to issue a comment on the subject due to the amount being impacted. In the email seen on the right, TPG, which is the processor who's used by many companies like TurboTax, is now stating they're identifying refunds that have been requested by the IRS to be returned to them and to allow up to 3 months for the IRS to update their account. However, there's discussion that the IRS is not requesting these refunds back and that this is TPG who's returning these refunds. There are several instances of this happening last year as well, as TPG holding refunds for long periods of time. Another pattern is this is impacting taxpayers who have elected to receive their direct deposit refunds with non traditional banks such as Green Dot. However, this is not the first time for those with those types of accounts who've had their refunds frozen. In the past, a number of Green Dot and NetSpend account users, among others, have had their refunds placed on hold due to potential ID theft. We do see tighter refund protection methods with those types of accounts, which are much easier to open versus traditional bank accounts such as Bank of America, Chase, Wells Fargo, for example. For those impacted by this, if there's no issue that has been flagged with your return and refund, after in fact it was sent back to the IRS, you should receive a paper check, usually within 4 to 6 weeks after the direct deposit has been returned to the IRS. However, if TPG is stating they're returning the refund to the IRS, you will not be able to stop that transfer. On the topic of tax refunds, either by direct deposit or paper check, if you do not receive your direct deposit after 3 business days of the refund date posted on your transcript or refund status results, contact the IRS to initiate a payment trace, either with a phone rep or the automated system, or complete IRS Form 3911 as seen here. However, if you are receiving a paper check, you will need to wait 30 days before initiating a payment trace. Do note if you're married and filing jointly, you cannot use the IRS automated system to initiate a payment trace. For our viewers receiving the 5747C ID verification letter, this is not like the 5071C letter that has impacted most receiving in this situation. If you receive the specific notice, you cannot verify your identity online or over the phone, and that you will need to call to schedule an in person appointment at a local IRS office. There are no exceptions under this type of letter. Usually, the appointment is fairly quickly, averaging 15 minutes. As a reminder, bring this letter, your tax return, and proper and current ID to the appointment. And finally, for those taxpayers who have not filed a tax return yet, but who earned income and did not file an extension, they may expect to receive the notice of deficiency as seen here. The IRS will report on the amount of taxes owed on W 2 and 1099 income not reported, as well as tax penalties that have incurred. You will have 90 days at that point to file a petition with the tax court if you would like to challenge the tax amount owed being proposed by the IRS. Let us know in the comments section below about your ongoing tax refund issue, including when and how you filed your tax return. In the meantime, we'll keep monitoring the situation for further developments, so make sure to click on the thumbs up and subscribe button below for future updates on this channel, and thanks for watching.